Welcome to first class sailing. Before you go on board, we have to do some paperwork. So the first thing is the check-in list. You have all the technical details here and also the check-in video. You have the QR code, so you can watch every time when you're on board and you have some questions, you can check the video again. So everything is super explained in this video. So here we have all the locations from everything what is important on board. And then you have the list with all the equipment, so you can check on board if you have everything on board. So then we have the proper check-in list, what we do together on board, check-in and check-out. We go through this list and we'll check everything together. Then we have the Spanish contract, what we need to sign. So you have it on board every time. When you have a control from the police, you need to show this. Then we have the invoice, the provision you need to pay in cash, and the charter pack you can pay with your credit card. It's no problem, but please don't forget your PIN.
Hello and welcome to First Class Sailing. My name is Dirk.
And welcome on board of this magnificent Moody 54 feet DS Adventuro. And I'm also Dirk, and since this is a boat big enough for both of us, we will
explain this boat together. Normally we do it alone, but this boat has so many details, we have to do it together.
Oh, is the door locked or what?
Well, also this is a safety feature, so just use some proper force and then the door will open. And there's actually one more thing. You have this beautiful window which can be opened as well. Just simply unlock here and push, and you can open all the way to the backboard side. In order to close, again, make sure you pull down, close it.
The main thing we have to control at first are the main switches. Come on, I will show you where they are. They are here on the port side of the boat, and here you find these 4 switches. We have to control if all the red lights at the bottoms are on. These switches are for house, for the engine, for the bow section and for the generator. After we controlled if the main switches are on, we have to check the Z-zone device. Therefore, we have to go to the bow section and go downstairs here. The Z-zone device is here.
Z-zone is a central unit where we monitor and also operate the systems on board, electrical, water, tanks, etc. You see here our main settings, which is like for away, off-board, on-board, boating day, boating night. If you're on board, you want to touch on board. Hold it pushed for like 2 seconds to activate. If you leave the boat just for a few hours to go for dinner, please activate off board. And if you go actually sailing, you want to choose boating day. And if you operate the boat during the night, boating night, which as you can see also automatically dims all the light down. If you go off board for shopping, and then you realize you need to go to the bathroom one more time and you use the bathroom, now the water pump is not working. So if you want to use the toilets, you have to be on board. Also, we have here a main menu which gives you favorites, modes, Steuerung, monitoring. Language is right now in German. One important thing might be the alarms. Here you can see the critical and the important alarms. They are listed here. Right below our Z-zone unit, we also have the element to operate the generator. In order to launch the control panel, you click once here, and then Panda Control needs a few seconds to boot the system. And then now you see it's ready to go. And all you need to do is like push the start-stop button. You can hear already the generator igniting. It takes a few seconds. And now the generator runs. And if you want to stop the generator, you simply hold the stop button pushed for 1-2 seconds, and once the generator turns off, you can shut down the control panel.
We have to go on with electricity, therefore we have to go outside. We have to open the box on the starboard side. Therefore, we have to remove the cushions. There's one really important thing. Here you have to go with your fingers and first pull these little things up, and then we can move the whole thing. Very important, just at first with your fingertips move this little button up. We will see some spare parts, but here are some main fuses for the electricity.
And down here below deck we have some fuse boxes. These is for the air condition and also for the service, and these are the fuse boxes for the land power cable. Normally you will never use it, but just in case and to show you, down here there are also additional fuses and fuse boxes. We also have an additional fridge down here. To open it, you simply unlock with those two pins and pull it, and then you can store additional goods, food, anything that needs to be cooled down here. Please remember to lock afterwards.
To go on with electricity, we have to open the engine's room, or the engine's house. These little things, attract your attention, please turn them around 180 degrees and then you can lift them up.
Down here in the engine room you see a few more fuses, and for instance if you experience any difficulties with the air condition or other units, you can check here if all the fuses are actually connecting. Here we have our system to either connect tank 1 or tank 2. It's right now in this position is we are getting the fuel from the gas or the diesel tank on the port side, and if you put it over to the other side, then it would take the diesel from the starboard side.
So engine is done. I will show you a security feature. All the boats, even it's a Moody, you have some water in the boat. We have prepared something for you.
Next to our mast we have a bilge pump. The pump is fixed installed. However, one of the great features is we have an extra long hose. With that we can reach basically any point down here below. All you need to do is open the cover, take out the pipe or the hose, go to the designated area, and then operate the pump. Right above our C-zone unit we have 3 additional switches. One is for the fan, light, and here is the pump switch for our bilge pump. Once you're done using our bilge pump with a hose and you want to put the boards back on, please make sure that you do it in the right order. It means like the biggest board goes here and goes first, because that way you can easily control and make sure it fits right in there. For the second part, it's actually helpful if we lift our staircase here just a little bit. It comes up automatically. And when we take the second board, now please be gentle. You know, it's tight. Go behind the mast. It fits right in here. Once this is done, you know, you can lower the staircase again. Just remember then, if you want to open the boards, if you want to take them away, obviously you have to do it in the opposite order. Then it would be like 1, 2, 3. Ideally you use those board suckers. Just push.
So we want to show you the air condition. We go up into the pantry.
Our air condition unit. Simply turn it on by pushing the button left. Then you here can choose temperature. You also have an auto setting, and you can even dehumidify the air if it gets too humid inside the boat. You have one of those control units in every cabin. They all work independent from each other, so you can adjust the temperature to your personal comfort zone. Right below our air condition control unit, we have our electrical gas switch. Simply push the button and to activate or deactivate our gas system, and you will need this obviously to cook in the pantry and to prepare all those delicious meals for lunch and dinner. Here we have our stove operated by gas. Simply lift and always remember secure. And then you have like 3 areas where you can actually prepare your food. Also an oven. When you have strong movement in the boat, you might want to unhook the cooking unit. You can do this easily by pull and push down and then pull over to the right side, and then your cooking unit actually moves freely, which, you know, helps you cooking and that your pots stay on the cooking unit. In order to fix it again, you know, you have to make sure that there's a little metal pin, and that needs to go right into this place that holds it. You can support this process by, you know, with your left hand and fix again.
Oh, Dirk, I need a break. I would really like to have a cup of coffee.
Well, lucky you, we have the perfect coffee machine right here.
Please, an espresso. I need an espresso. Oh, so good. Thank you so much. Do I have to clean it up?
Of course not. We have a dishwasher. But watch this. As a safety feature, the dishwasher cannot be just opened. What you need to do is knock 3 times, wait for a little click, and you can easily open it. Fast sounds just about right. Activate, close, and the rest is done by our dishwasher machine. Right opposite the coffee machine, we have our ice maker. So to switch on, just push the button. A little bit longer. Now it turns on. Please make sure that you have the indicator light on the snowflake and also the far right light with the 9 tiles. There's one more feature in here. You want to make sure there's this little metal arm. It's right here. If it's up, it means like it's going to stop making ice cubes. Make sure it's down if you want to have ice cubes. The water reservoir for the ice maker is right here. Easy to refill. Please make sure that you don't use the water from the tap, because this is no certified drink water quality. Always use water from the bottles.
So after this beautiful coffee and the cold drinks, right time to go to the toilet.
Each of our 3 toilets here on board has an electronic system. So first you push fill, and once this is filled and you're finished, you click flush, and please do it once. Wait until it finishes, and since we have enough water on board, let's do it twice.
Yeah, Dick, this is quite interesting, but really, now I want to go with the boat and go sailing.
Before you start your sailing adventure, please remember, change here to boating day. Right here at the salon, we also have a captain's station with all the important navigation units and also to control the throttle for the engine. No matter if you want to drive the boat from here or back there at the helming station, always first switch on the plotter here at the captain's table in the salon. Once the system is booted up, you will have an error message. You need to go outside, starboard side, and start the plotter right there at the helming station. So this screen is our main page for the plotter. Obviously, you can see all these options. You have the map and chart load back to the main page. Just push once here. Then there are more options here on this side: fish finder, Karte, radar, and if you switch to the left, you have video, which shows you actually a perspective on the boat. Right next to our plotter, we have our autopilot. bottom left, standby, push for a few seconds and it's switched on. So please always remember, first you change the onboard system on sailing, then you switch on the plotter at the captain's table in the salon, and third, always activate the plotter on the starboard side so that all the systems that are necessary for sailing and navigating are running properly.
Hey Dirk, I want to drive, but nothing happens here.
Here we have the control unit for the throttle of our main engine. However, in order to activate it, we need to go outside first. You change the setting at the Z-Zone device to boating day. You started the plotter at the captain's table and also the plotter here at the steerboard helming station. Now we are ready to start the engine. Before you push the start button, always make sure that your gear is in neutral. First, we push the ignition button and you hear a control tone that tells you it's activated, and the green LED is also showing you that its ignition is on. And then you wait 21, 22, 23. And now you're ready to push the start button. Hold it pushed until the engine fully runs. One of those many great features on board of this Moody DS54 is that we not only have a bow thruster, but also a stern thruster. In order to activate, first push the top button and pull the handle to the right side. A control tone, a double tone, tells you that it's activated. Now you need to lower the bow thruster into its position. This takes a few seconds and you can monitor by the frequency of the control tone. Again, a double tone shows you that the bow thruster is in its position. Also, please note that as long as your thrusters are extended, you will continue to hear the monitor tone. If you keep hearing this tone, that means at least one of your thrusters is extended, which will be important once you leave the harbor because you don't want to go out into the open sea with the thrusters extended. The stern thruster, it's the same way. Push the button and pull the stick to the right. The double tone is clearly hearable. Also, you may have noticed the signal tone of the stern thruster is clearly louder than the thruster on the bow. Here again, keep the button pushed. And the double tone shows you that the thrusters are extended. You can hear both thrusters now giving us a monitor tone. Both thrusters are now active. Super, super important. You need to bring the thrusters back up manually because there's no system, depending on the time or on the speed, that brings the thrusters up automatically. You need to bring them up manually in order to avoid any damages on the thrusters. Please always remember. In order to bring the thrusters up, just the opposite order. First we push the up buttons. You can do this synchrone. You will continue to hear the monitoring tone. You let go. If you don't hear any tone anymore, that means both thrusters are stored safely away. And now all you need to do is push the button, stick to the right side, push the button, stick to the right side, and your both thrusters are safe.
Great explanation, Dirk. Thrusters are stored safely, engine is running, I want to go, but here's nothing happened. Why?
This is due to another safety feature. You have to be checked in at the right station. So there can only be one station active. Right now we are here. If you want to operate the throttle from another station, you need to push the button, the station button, on the other station. Make sure the active one is in neutral in order to take over on another station.
But What do I have to do to take over control, please?
If you want to take control at your station, you need to push the station button just here at your throttle control. Make sure that the throttle on the active unit is in neutral. I don't want you to take control yet. So therefore, I'm gonna push my station button again, and now you see it's locked. That means no other station can be activated until I push one more time, and then now it's unlocked and you can take over at any other station on the boat.
Okay, I understand. My throttle is in neutral, your throttle is in neutral, you are not locked, so I can press the station button and now I have control. Great! Okay, nice. I got control, the engine is running. But Dirk, we are on a beautiful sailing boat. How can we set the sails?
Well, first let's have a look what kind of sails we have on this boat. Of course we have the mainsail, and then we have two sails here in the front at the bow. One is a self-tacking jib. Not much to say about that. And then we have a Genoa. The Genoa, however, there's something you really need to keep in mind. If you look closely, you see that the sheets for our Genoa, they're running in front of the jib. That means like every time you sail a maneuver, like tack for instance, you need to roll or you need to furl the Genoa all the way, right? Not halfway, not almost, all the way to make sure that during the tack, the Genoa moves easily over to the other side. Also here at the bow section, we have an additional storage place, which you can use for additional ropes, for your fenders when you're at sea. And here you also have the remote control for your anchor. What's really nice about this particular remote control, it has a display that shows you exactly the length of the anchor chain that's in the water. So no guessing. You also have those foot buttons. And with that, or with those, you can also operate the anchor in case the remote control is not working. Right below the storage space, here at the bow section of the boat, is the bow thruster. Therefore, the fuse for the bow thruster is also here. Just lift the board, and here you can access the electronics. In order to furl out the mainsail, there are 2 or 3 things to keep in mind. The mainsail is furled into the mast. In order to release it, you have to make sure that this switch is set on free, as it shows here on the display. So push it in and push it over to the other side. This is for furling it in. If you want to release, push in over to the other side, which is starboard. And now you can actually furl out the mainsail. We furl and unfurl our mainsail with the help of an electrical motor. So in case the motor doesn't work properly, you can always switch to manual. In order to do so, you go down here, you need to pull and shift it up in the upper position and then put it back in there. Also here, once you remove the red rubber, you have the access point for your winch handle. Where this winch handle is, we will show you in a second. In order to unfurl our mainsail, simply push the button, wait a few seconds, and the sail comes out. For our Genoa and our jib, it's up here, out, and here out. You always need to keep it pushed for 2 seconds before the system starts. Before you unfurl the mainsail, make sure that this is open on port and on starboard. And while letting the mainsail out, make sure you keep feeding this, if needed, open. While we operate the main furler and we unfurl the mainsail, make sure that you keep pulling on the main out to make sure that we have enough tension on the mainsail. Three important things. First of all, once you want to unfurl the mainsail, make sure that you have your sail slightly on port side. That makes it a lot easier for the engine to furl and unfurl the sail. That means we always furl and unfurl our sails with the engine, with the electrical motor, right? So we don't have to do it by hand. You shouldn't do it by hand, only in case of an emergency. Always use the furler. Extremely important when you sail with the Genua is that if you want to sail a maneuver, you always have to furl the Genua before you can sail the maneuver. So no matter what maneuver it is, but when you change the course through the wind, always furl the Genua because she's in front of the jib, so it needs to be furled in all the way, 100%. All our sails are out, but our engine is still running. Before we switch it off, one thing to remember, we have a foldable propeller. In order to fold it away, while we are under sail and we're moving forward, we have momentum. We are of course in neutral. So now what we do is, like, while the engine is still running, we go slightly in reverse and stop the engine. That helps our propeller to fold away so that it doesn't continue to turn. Now you're ready for your sailing adventure. You probably remember from the beginning of the video our Boxkiste, where we have fuses and additional storage and also the refrigerator. There are also a few boxes with very helpful tools and even the box with our emergency tools. In the case that the motor for the furler for the jib and for the Genua doesn't work, you can always go back to manual operations. Here you have a handle, and if it's not safe enough because of the weather, you can use those emergency drives. You connect them as well, and then you can move back to safety, and then you have the sheets, and then you can operate manually the furlers from there. Here, this is the handle for the mast. In case the furler for the mast, the motor doesn't work and you need to operate manually. This is extra short and therefore a lot more convenient. And then we have two more handles in here for our regular winches.
Oh wow, look at this. Here's another storage room. Are there also here some diving scooters, bicycles, or what is here?
Actually, no. This is another safety feature, and I will show you how this works. Here we are at the port side, right in front of the aft cabin. This feature actually is absolutely exclusive, and there's only one Moody in the world that has it, and that's here. Our emergency exit from the port side aft cabin. You can exit right out here into the cockpit. Simply pull here the line and the ball and push up. And you see, you have immediately direct access to the cockpit. Actually, there's no other Moody like this one in the world. On top of that, we have a few more nice gadgets on board, and those we will show you right now. Let's start with the e-bikes. But wait a minute, Dirk, I don't really know how those work. Do you know how those e-bikes operate?
Oh Dirk, I'm so proud there's something I could explain to you. First one, you always have to remember, just one day before you start your bicycle tour, always charge the batteries. This is the battery, it's very easy to use. You got the charger and you got the jack. The only thing you have to do is pull that in, and don't mind this switch. It's important if you use it in the bike. That's all. Remember, it takes just, I guess, 10 or 12 hours to let them fully charged. So we have the fully charged battery, and I will show you how to mount it into the bike. We start to lift this switch a little bit up, and then we can open it here, and now magic, we can unfold this bike. Okay, now you got the fully charged battery. Here's a slot for the key. This has to be on the bottom, it has to be down. Now with some gentle force you can slide the battery in. We fold the bike back together again, lock it here, and now it's really fixed. You awake this bike by switching the main switch on. Now we start the bike by pressing this button for just a long second, and with these buttons we can switch to the support we would like to have. This is the strongest one. I always prefer this. This makes a real good drive feeling. Here you shift gear like you do with a normal bike, and one interesting to know in Spain, if you pass someone, it's always important to ring the bell. So you really have to try it. Mallorca got beautiful bicycle ways, and good news, we got 2 bikes on board. And if you want to do some sports, or if you want to have some extra fun, we got 2 beautiful SUPs on board. But you know what? I will pass over to Yerdis. She is more beautiful than I am, and she knows everything about SUPs.
To know the size of your pedal, you need to take the handle and then you pull your arm straight up and then you close it again, and this is your size when you stand on the board. When you stand on the board, try to stand wide with your feet, soften your knees so that you have a better control over the board. And then you take the pedal like a triangle with long straight arms, then you have more power. When you put it in the water, then you're also using your upper body to put all your power into the pedal, and then the lower arm pulls and the upper arm pushes against.
We got so many gadgets included on this boat, but this is my favorite one. With your left hand you switch it on, just press the button with your left hand for 3 seconds and it will be activated. Some LEDs will show that it's running. Okay, the LED indicates that the machine is running. We started by pressing with both hands the buttons. It always runs in low mode, but for sure we want to use the power mode. With our right hand we have to press the button 3 times after each other. 1, 2, 3, and it starts in turbo mode. I guess we are done with our work. This was such a hot day. My shirt is really sweaty. What should I do with this?
We are even prepared for that. Follow me. Right down here in the bathroom of the port side aft cabin, we have our laundry machine. Simply open, close the door, and now only one touch and the Miele laundry machine boots. And here all you need to do now is choose your program, push the button and start. And what's even cooler, this is also a dryer. So it's a laundry machine and a dryer, so you for sure will have a dry, clean t-shirt for tomorrow.
Oh, the only thing now I want to do is to drink a cold beer and watch some TV.
This wish I can grant with one finger.
Okay, so come on. Dirk, great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dirk.
Okay, cheers.
Salute.
Salute. And now we watch a cool movie.